Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Martyna and welcome to day 3, if I am counting correctly. I'm pretty sure I am, of this challenge where we are using up a whole 6x6 paper pad in just 5 days. So today's project is super cute, I think, and also very simple. That's kind of the goal of this series, and it's those faux window envelopes made, of course, from a 6x6 sheet of paper. We have some like scrappy collage on the front, and then I have a window on the back of those, and I used different things to cover it up. I have some lace and I have some tea bags. This one is just from tea, or maybe I coffee stained it. This one has some staining. This is actually made from a different paper, so this is of course Tim Holtz, but these are both from the papers that we are using for our paper pad. So this is what we are going to be doing today, and I think they are so cute. For like I would probably add maybe like a tag into them, because they have this nice shape, slightly longer than taller, and or maybe like a folded piece of some pretty paper for journaling, something like that. So yeah, so let's make those. And I've already picked some of the papers. So here are the 3 that I think I'm going to be working with for this project, or maybe I will just pick 2 of those, we will see. But I have this one, which I covered with the book page on the back, this pretty pink one again with the book page, and this one, all 3 of them are actually covered with book pages, this one of the English rose. So what we are going to do first is we are going to be folding our sheets of 6x6 paper. And for this one, I'm actually going to give you guys measurements for if you want the exact size of this, but you can also just eyeball it, and you know, not you don't have to really care about measuring. So first I want to choose which side of the paper is going to be my outside and which side is going to be my inside. I love this English rose here, so I think I want it on my flap. So this is sort of how I'm going to approach this piece of paper. So we want to fold it in a few places. So on the sides, the left and the right hand side, we are going to be folding at 1/2 inch. So I'm just making a score mark here, because these papers now with the book pages are quite thick. It's been definitely helping me to do it with my score marks first, to fold them. Then for the bottom part, so for this part here, we are going to be folding it at 2¼ inches. I'm pretty sure 2¼ and then I'm going to turn this around, and then I'm going to be folding or scoring my flap piece of this paper at 1¼ That's kind of what worked for me. And so we can now see, here is our sort of basic envelope. This is the back, or I think this is called the front of the envelope, I think, where we will have our window. And then we also have those 2. Oh, I probably scored it from the wrong side. Am I right? You probably should have done it this way, and then it would be easier to fold. Never mind that, it's all good. So now, 2 things. We have to cut some of those folded bits off, and It depends what sort of look are you going for, because we can go, I hope this is showing on camera, but we can cut off, we definitely want to cut off those two bits from the flap of the envelope, and then we can also cut off this and leave these two flaps to be like this. Hope it's showing, but these are those two flaps, so they just make it so I have a little bit more room on my envelope. Or we can cut the flaps on the envelope flap, and then we can cut out the bottom ones, and so leave this, and this is how I made this envelope. I'm not sure if you can see, but there is slightly they are slightly showing here, they are slightly taller than my flap, because this is this part here, and it also just gives me more space here. I think to make it easier, I'm going to be cutting those two and leaving this one. Alrighty, so let's cut this part off. Maybe I'm probably slightly crooked because I want to do it on camera, not, you know, off to the side, but then it's quite far away from my eyes. That should be kind of even. Maybe like that. Right. And so here is my basic envelope shape. Now I like to add a little bit of a slanted edge on those two flaps. I think I need to cut this one a little bit more. So I will do just that, just a small slanted edge here and here, excuse me, so that it looks nice and tidy. And then what I also like to do, what I did for the other ones, is I am rounding the corners of this flap. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Okay, in the meantime, I also inked the edges, all of the edges, with my Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. And now I would say it's time to make our window. So what I'm going to do is really just make a cut in the I guess this is the front of my envelope. I'm sorry if this is the back, I can never remember. But this part, which is going to be here. And then with this, I'm going to go from the inside, so I don't have the white, because if I tore from this side, you can see this white edge. If you like it, then by all means, but I'm going to go from the inside here, and just sort of an irregular, maybe like oval-ish shape. Maybe slightly bigger on this side, because I want some nice lace or a tea bag to show through it. Yeah, so this is where my window is going to be, and I'm going to do the same thing with this. And I'm just thinking which side, well, maybe this, because then I will have those cute flowers still here. And I am starting with my scissors just because I have such thick paper to work with, so it makes it easier to start with making the window. I also don't want to go too close to this edge, because this is where my flap is going to be glued. So I don't want it to show through the window. And of course, if you don't like the torn look, you can definitely, just cut an oval or whatever shape of a window, maybe a rectangle you would like. I like to ink the edges maybe on this one. Well, I try to ink the edges a little bit, but it's not showing very well on this paper. But we do have some gold splatters already on this pattern paper, so how about I add some gold of my own, if I can find my gold paste. And I am using this gold pasta from the brand Renaissance, which is a Polish brand, but any gilding paste, gilding wax would work well here. So I am just going messily around this circle with my fingers, like that. And it will make this window pop really nicely. All right. So now we get to decide what we want in the window. Like I said, I used a tea bag previously, like here, and I actually like how it looks. It's quite transparent, so that's very nice. I think lace would look great. You could also add a piece of vellum. Anything I think transparent or semi-transparent would look great, because then you can see whatever you add to the pocket. So let me just check if I have, sorry, here are some of the papers that we still have left for this project. That's still a lot, to be honest, but I am optimistic that we can finish this challenge in 5 days. So let's see. This one is probably too small, yes, for those windows, because I want something that's slightly bigger than my window shape here. Maybe this. Maybe something like this, although I have the same lace but coffee stained version, which might look slightly better. I think I like it actually. Is it big enough to glue it all around? Yes, it should be. So I think that's what I'm going to choose for this one. And for the other one, I have some pink lace here, but I think this is too small as well, although it would be super cute. But maybe let's stick with a tea bag actually. So I have some tea bags that I added some additional coffee staining to. And I don't know, I just love how it looks in this window. So I am going to take this middle part here, where I have some parts that are more stained and slightly less stained, and I am just picking a piece slightly bigger than my window. So I did stitch with my sewing machine around this window, like you can see, but before that, and I'm going to do it here as well, but before that I am actually going to attach those pieces with some glue. And so if you do not want to stitch, that's the only step you have to do. Just make sure I am putting my glue just around here, not too much, to be honest, because I'm going to be stitching with my sewing machine in a moment, and I don't want the glue on my needle. I love how it looks, but I would probably add slightly more glue if I wasn't going to stitch, just to make sure it's nice and secure there. And the same with this lace. Which one is, I think, this way. And I am just going to give it some time to dry before I stitch, and in the meantime we can decorate the flaps of the envelope. And what I have on both of those is just some longer scraps with some lace, just thrown together, stitched together a little bit, and just some focal points. And I also have, oh yeah, this is the Tim Holtz one with the cute little birdie. So that's what I would like to do. Excuse my voice. So I have some brown packing paper. Let's start with a piece of that. And it's nice and long. Do I have some music? Yes. Let me take a piece of the music paper, maybe like that. Then perhaps a piece of a tea bag for some different texture. Like that. I hope you guys are all doing really well. Please let me know in the comments actually if you are taking part in this challenge. Do you have any like 6x6 paper pads that you've had in your stash for maybe a little bit too long for your liking, and you are now using them all up alongside me? We still have a few projects. The one for tomorrow I would call like a one-sheet wonder. It's very cute. It has, I think, 3 to 4 pockets, depending on what you do, how you attach it to your page. So that's very fun, from just one sheet of 6x6 paper. And then I definitely think the last day will have to be making some ephemera pieces that we can put in all of those pockets that we are making in the series. So maybe something like that. And let me see about some lace. How about I actually use the same lace that I used in the window? Yeah, I like it. So I'm going to just shorten this. And what I will do before I choose my focal point is, in a moment I will take this cluster to my sewing machine and I will stitch through it. Absolutely no need to do that. I just like the look of machine stitching. I will stitch it to this lace and then I will come back and we will glue it to this. But let's perhaps decorate this one. And so maybe for a nice uniform look, let's choose the same or similar papers. So a piece of brown paper, some music, and maybe a whiter side of the tea bag this time, not the coffee stained one, because we have a lighter background here. And then perhaps, well, I could actually probably use the same lace again because it's just very pretty, but just the non-coffee stained one. Yeah, I think I would like it. So let me cut it to the size. These can go back to the scraps box. And I will be right back. I will stitch around the windows with like a straight stitch twice probably, and then with a zigzag I will stitch my clusters together. Alrighty, all stitched. Maybe I will cut off some of those longer threads, especially from the inside actually, so they don't get in the way when we glue the envelope shut. Okay, now I will trim this tea bag slightly from the inside here, now that I have it stitched around, so it also doesn't get in the way when I put something in this envelope. And I have my 2 clusters, so I'm just going to use my wet glue and glue them down to the flap of the envelopes, and then we will look for some focal points, something interesting, maybe some butterflies or flowers, something that we can add. And I like that this lace is longer than the flap and it overhangs like that, because I think it just looks pretty when we open it up. So there is that one, and let's give it a moment to dry. And the same with the other one. I will probably be making some more of each of the projects off camera, because that was kind of my idea, that I would have more than just a couple of things made of each type, sort of less like mass making, but just not on camera perhaps. But other than that, I would definitely need more than just 5 projects to use 40 sheets of 6x6 papers. Okay, I think it's very cute. So while this is drying, I can actually already glue my envelopes shut. So I'm just going to put glue over those 2 little flaps that we left. Like that. Close it up and just hold it in place. If you have any sort of clips or something, you could clip it. This is not going to work. I'm just going to put a few things on there for the glue to work. And then the same with this little one. Oh, and this one, I wanted to show you guys. This one I actually either cut or folded slightly crooked, so it peeks out from this side a little bit, but honestly it doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so this should be, oh no, it definitely needs, let me actually grab some paper clips so that we can safely work on the other things and decorate the envelopes some more. So maybe like here, and then one on this side and the second one on this side. That should be fine. Alrighty, so what do I want to put on here? I have my little box of smaller sort of embellishments, and maybe because this one actually does have some purple and some blue, so maybe I could use some of my blue butterflies. These were, I believe, a freebie a long time ago, but I think maybe it would look nice here. Let me just look. I also have these ones. this is actually quite a similar color. I think I like it. And then maybe like a label. These are mostly Tracy Fox labels that I just printed smaller, like 2 per page, 2 sheets per page. So I have a lot of these really tiny ones, which I love. I love using them. I definitely want something neutral. Don't want to introduce a new color to this mix. So I'm looking for something brown, perhaps. How about something like that? Or maybe my butterfly should be on this side, so it offsets all the blue, so we don't have all the blue on one side. I think I like it. So let me just use my glue again, which is obviously still seeping from this bottle or this tube, I guess, container, which I think I complained about this a little bit in the previous video, but yes, I do love this glue. It's very good quality for a very good price. This is a Polish brand, but the tubes are horrible. Very much not user-friendly, and I am considering maybe risking one glue, because if it doesn't work then I will waste it. But I am considering just trying to put one of those in those precision bottles for glue. Okay, I think it's very cute. I think it's very cute, and I will probably want to add a little stamp on this side as well. But in the meantime, let's see about this pocket. What could we use here? Not sure if I have any more of these. A lot of these are Tim Holtz ephemera, and then I have some stamped labels that I stamped on some coffee stains digitals, I believe. But do I want a flower? Maybe actually something like that, because there is some yellow. Let me see what else I have here in terms of like flowers or yellows. Let's just pull a few things out that I think maybe will work. Oh, this one scares me. Definitely a moth, not a butterfly. Not a fan. Not a fan. Then I have some smaller ones, some mushrooms, some tiny little like ephemera pieces. Don't think I have any more larger labels either from this, or labels with like something written on them from this collection. Well, that was one, but not the right color. Okay, let me see if I like any of these flowers on here. This one, well, it's pretty, but it's so big, and so it would just hang quite awkwardly from there. This one I could actually maybe put like that. I think I really like it. This one again is quite long. It doesn't look that well slanted, I think. And then I have some layering pieces, perhaps. This is like a specimen label, and maybe I could pair it with some Tracy, just for a slightly different look. How about that? Actually, I like this green. It matches this quite well. So you know what? Let me actually do it, and I am going to try to glue it like I have it here. Let's see if this will work. So somewhere here, maybe just a little bit of inking because it printed quite bright, especially in comparison to all of those, all of those other elements that we have. Okay, so maybe here. Who knows if it was really here when I put it for the first time, but that's okay. And somehow maybe this way. Okay. Oh, now there is glue everywhere. I think I'm going to have to tape it if I want to still use this bottle. Okay, so here is one of those envelope flaps, and here is the other. I love both of them. I think I can safely remove the paper clips now, and if not, I will just go back later and add more glue to those envelopes. Yeah, I think it's all glued down. And so now I would like to, maybe let me open this up, it will lie flatter. I would like to add some little like vintage postage stamps onto this part of the envelope. I have some here. This little pack was gifted to me, so let's see what we have. I'm mostly going to look for stamps that work color-wise. Oh, this is very pretty. I think it goes this way. Maybe not. I'm going to put it on this way. I have something pink. I also have something blue. How about that? Maybe I can have two on this one. And do I want anything else on this? Oops. Maybe this one. I love the color combination. I think it works for both of these envelopes. And again, the same glue. I really do have to do something about this. I don't want to be bothered by this glue for the rest of the series. But I also don't want to throw it away, of course, because that would be such a waste. Maybe like this. And then 1 and 2. Okay, now let's put it aside so that it doesn't put glue on anything else. But here is how these look like. And so yeah, so this is our cute little project for today, and I just wanted to show you guys, maybe I have some yeah, let's use this book page. So let's say this is my journaling cards. I just wanted to show you guys how well you can see what you put in the envelope through these tea bags. This is really pretty. And then of course maybe with the pictures, so we see something else, and it is going to look really pretty as well. So yeah, here they are. Let me give you guys a close-up. Thank you so much for joining me today, for following this series, whether you are making these projects alongside me or not. Thank you so much for watching and for commenting. I appreciate you guys so much. Every comment makes me so happy. Do I have, yes, let me just maybe show you this one as well that I made off camera. And then this one. So all of these are part of the challenge. All of these were made with the papers from the paper pad. Okay, so thank you again, and I will see you guys tomorrow for our day 4 for our next project, and I am already very excited about this one. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.